Do you carry a credit card balance? If you do, please watch on. Hey everyone, my name is JJ. I'm a retired CPA. My channel is about personal finance, retirement, and food. So today I want to dive into credit card balances in America. It is going to be a crisis if we don't address it right away. So there are some staggering statistics on credit card. The overall balance of credit card debt is over $1 trillion. That is almost 50% higher than Q1 of 2021. And this is a 10-year high. So it is a terrible situation if you think about it. 50% of Americans carry the credit card balance into the next month, meaning they don't have enough money to pay it off at the end of the month. And the interest rate on credit card, you think about it, is at least 20%, if not higher. It could go up to 25% or near 30%, depending on your credit scores. And the average balance of credit card debt is about $7,000. This was around Q3, Q4 of 2024. And there are over 2 million Americans with $50,000 or more credit card debt. So it's a lot of numbers, a lot of statistics. I'm just trying to illustrate a point, which you should already know, that if you carry a credit card, you know the situation is getting worse and it is hard to manage, pay it down. Why we use credit card for spending and not able to pay it off? I mean, all of us have credit card. We've been told you need to have a credit card to improve your credit score. Without a credit score, you won't be able to get a good mortgage loans or car loans. So everyone needs to have a credit card to establish a credit score. We've been fooled into this theory. And it's so easy to spend on credit card. You put it on the card without having to know how much money you have in your bank account. And especially when you have an emergency situation, you have a medical bill, your car breaks down, your home needs a repair of some sort. I mean, there are 40 or 50% of Americans who, without any emergency balance, or if they do, the balance is small. So it is a tough situation, right? It's a high inflationary environment in the past 4 or 5 years. It's not getting better. The inflation it may get worse this year if the tariffs are put in place. There are more workers, especially federal workers, losing their jobs under the Trump administration. So what can you do? So I specialize in personal finance. I never carried a credit card in my life. So I wanted to say, if you do carry a credit card balance, you ought to understand why you need to use your credit card and not able to pay it off. I mean, if you have a medical debt that you just have to put on the credit card balance and you're going to pay it off in a few months, I mean, that's understandable, right? I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. If you continue to use your credit card to pay the day-to-day spending, your groceries, your clothes, or whatever it may be, and you're not able to pay it off, and this is where I wanted you to pay attention, please. Just to think about it. You wanted to understand where the money goes. is an exercise that most of us don't do on a regular basis. Even me, I said I'm a CPA. I don't download my financial transactions every month, and I don't go into where my money went. But I did it recently. I did it recently for the past couple months, and let me tell you, it was a big surprise to me because I feel my money is going out the door a little faster than I had anticipated. I mean, I'm semi-retired, but the rate the money is going out the door is making me questioning that I need to go back to work a little more. Even as a person like me, I consider myself very frugal. I don't spend money on anything extravagant, and I'm surprised at my grocery bills. So this is the first thing you ought to do. Download all your spending transactions. If you use a debit card, credit card, Apple Pay, whatever the money goes out the door, you need to download all the transactions, all of them. You can just use an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheet, but you need to get all your transactions. And then the analysis starts with categorize each transactions into a manageable category. Your groceries, your utilities, your mortgage payment or your rent, your insurance payments, your healthcare costs, your pet costs, and the gifts, entertainment, and miscellaneous. Don't be too many categories. It's becoming unmanageable for you. You have to go through all the transactions. You can sort the data, so all your grocery stores will be listed one next to each other. So all your grocery stores, and you can just copy the cell down and say they are groceries. And all your utility companies, I use Pico, so I label all Pico as utilities, and you just copy them down. It is an exercise, may take a few hours. It took me about 1 to 2 hours because I messed up twice. But you gotta know which category you spend your money on. Now, if you have a huge miscellaneous bucket, if you have bucket that you didn't think you spend that much money on, if you have a budget of eating out that becomes too much, that bucket would give you a clue as to how you can manage your spending so that your credit card balance isn't going up any higher than what it is right now. So I think that's the number one, is know where your money goes. And secondly, this is your mentality. You gotta ask yourself, if you have a credit card balance that is hard to manage down, in my mind, that is you're living in a lifestyle you cannot afford. It's hard to hear, but it is possibly the truth. You're living beyond your means. So this mindset side is you wanted to think about it and sleep on it and just see, can you support your lifestyle? Can you support your mortgage? Can you support your rent? Can you support that car payment or sports gambling habits or what have you, eating out, whatever it may be? The Amazon purchases are just, if you look at Amazon, it's hard to categorize Amazon purchase because they're just Amazon. You have to, I haven't figured out how to download all my Amazon purchase details into an Excel spreadsheet. So Amazon is a big category. I just simply label it as home, but they're not all home expenditures. So it's a kind of a black hole in my household as well. So number one is figure out where your money goes. Number one is your mentality, your mindset is really asking yourself, can you afford the lifestyle? Can you afford some of the purchases? If you cannot, You have to determine to make a change, or else your financial situation would not improve. And this may be painful to some of us. The third way, the third activity or task is to figure out how to pay it down as quickly as possible. You have to put payment into your budget. You have to pay more than the minimum. You need to pay as much you can, and stop spending on some of the items so you can budget more on credit card payment. If you're eating out a little more, you carry a credit card balance, you ought to stop eating out until your credit card balance is paid off. Is a sacrifice that you have to make. You can consolidate your credit cards and obtain a personal loan, which would carry a little less percentages to save on interest payments. That is certainly an option. You can explore that. That wouldn't be the first thing I do. You have all these advertisements that tell you, oh, it's so simple to get a personal loan. You know, it's just follow this app and do this link. That's not the first thing to tackle your credit card balance. That could be task number 4. But task 1 and 2 and 3, figure out where your money goes. Identify areas where you cannot afford. And thirdly, get to the payment amount that would enable you to pay off the card balance as much as possible. So these are 1, 2, 3 you ought to do. Not go get another personal loan. And if I were I had a $7,000 credit card balance, I cut it up. If you want to quit cold turkey, cut the credit card up. Cut it up. Go get a debit card. So you can't spend money if you don't have it on your bank account. That's what I use. I use a debit card. I am old. I'm a boomer generation. And I know it's important to get a good credit score, but I also know it's more important that I spend money that I have. So if that's what's going to take, cut up all your credit card, get a debit card, only spend money that you have. Maybe you'll be credit card free, balance free soon. I mean, if you carry a $7,000 balance, I hope you pay it off in 6 months or less. All right, that is all I wanted to discuss today. I hope you have a great rest of the today. Please subscribe to my channel, and we can share more personal finance journey. Thank you.